This is my first time being with a witch. Now, let's see what cries of pleasure I get to hear.
He tightly grips my wrists, and the pain intensifies. Even if I wanted to use magic, it's impossible with my movements so restricted.
You'll lose your will to fight back before long. In a couple more minutes, you'll be completely under my control.
Stop it! I leap up with a shout, sending the sheets and cushions tumbling. Was that a dream? I stand up and check the place where Harold bit me in the mirror, but I can't find any mark left where he took my blood. I take a look at the door too, but there's no sign that it was ever unlocked. I wonder why I had that dream. When I open the curtains, I see the sky is just starting to grow light. It looks like it's too early to get up yet, but I doubt I'll be able to go back to sleep now. I'll get started doing what I need to do. Thinking that, I start taking off my clothes. By the time Raymond teaches me how to do my work, and I finish tending to the roses, the sun has completely set. Apparently, there isn't anyone except for Harold and the other three living at the castle, leaving the halls always silent. What a waste of such a spacious and gorgeous building. They should really make this place into a hotel or something. Huh? When I vaguely glance further down the hallway, I notice that just one door is strangely open. It was locked when I saw it during the day. Feeling oddly curious about what's through the door, I furtively peeked inside. When I do... a coffin! In the center of the minimally furnished room is an old casket. It's a sight that would leave anyone feeling disconcerted. I go closer and look to see what's inside, but there's nothing there. What is a coffin doing in a place like this? Or rather, more importantly, whose is it?
This is my late wife's room, and this coffin was meant to be hers as well. But unfortunately, she turned to ash before she could use it.
Harold!
I noticed you were gone, and then I find you fooling around in here. What happened to your work?
I finished everything for today, so don't worry about that. Anyway, so you were married, huh? I had no idea you had a wife. I'm sorry for coming in here without asking.
I don't mind. My wife, despite being a vampire, was a weak woman who perished easily. At this point, I neither miss nor mourn her.
How can you say that? This was the wife you must have once loved, right?
I wouldn't know. This all happened far, far in the past. I don't even remember at this point.
Harold doesn't appear to be lying. I've heard that vampires are nearly immortal beings, and that unless something extreme happens, they continue to live for many hundreds of years. Maybe Harold is used to losing people he loves due to living for such a long time as a vampire. If that's true, you must be a very lonely person.
Huh? Now what are you going on about? Don't tell me you're feeling sympathy for me. You're a most kind witch, but you'd better get a slightly better understanding of the situation you've gotten yourself into. Your life is in my hands, if I decided I wanted to.
Harold grabs me and then puts his lips to the back of my neck.
It would be no trouble at all to take your blood.
It's no use trying to threaten me. If you want to take my blood, go right ahead.
What's that now?
Harold's grip on my wrists tightens. Right now, you're being just as childish as Alfred and Rupert. No matter how badly you try to threaten me, I'll never be afraid of you.
Your bark is worse than your bite, just like a poorly trained dog.
After remarking that with disgust, Harold shoves me away.
I've lost interest in you. Get back to your room.
Harold throws me a single glance and then walks off. Looks like I'm in for a bumpy ride. Several days later, Harold invites an acquaintance of his, a wizard named Humphrey, and holds a small dinner party. After I finish preparing our meal, as has become routine at this point, I get Alfred and Rupert seated.
What's this dish, Tatiana? There are big chunks of vegetables in it.
It's called borscht. It's a traditional food from another country. It'll really warm you up.
There's no way I'm eating something that's such a revolting color.
Oh dear, you're still such a little kid being picky about your food like that.
If you're going to put it like that, I'll eat it. Rupert, this is so good! You... be quiet, Alfred. Well, I guess it's not so bad.
Now there's a shock. This is the first time I've ever seen someone talk you into something, Rupert.
We get an earful for not all in our seats when it's mealtime. It was my most regrettable mistake hiring such a fussy maid.
Are you sure about that? You look pretty happy to me, Harold.
As I watch Rupert and Alfred hesitantly begin eating, I sense that my life here is coming to an end. I've been secretly investigating everyone here, but there was no connection between them and the plague going around the village or the demon attacks. Pretty soon, I need to go back to my village and tell everyone that. But will the villagers who believe vampires to be evil believe me?
Tatiana, I'm done.
Wow, you ate a lot! Rupert and Harold, do you two want some more borscht as well?
Well, I guess I could have a little.
I take the bowl Rupert holds out with a wry smile. After getting Alfred and Rupert into bed, I leave the castle. The forest is dark, as usual. It's difficult to tell whether it's day or night. If I follow straight along this path, it'll take at least a day to make it to the village.
Hey, is that you, Tatiana?
Huh? You're the chief's son, aren't you? What are you doing out here?
I'm looking for you. No one's heard a peep from you since you went into the forest, so we thought maybe you'd been captured by vampires.
Actually, about that, I found out that the vampires had absolutely nothing to do with either the plague or the demon attacks.
What? You can't be serious. It was obviously the vampires that did it.
We can't just assume that. I'm going to go tell the truth to the villagers. But right at that moment... Huh?
Ah!
As I watch, the man's arm is split open and blood spurts out. The man loses his balance and falls to the ground. Are you all right? I try to run over to the man in a panic, but before I can, the arms wrapped around my stomach make that impossible.
Do you take me for a fool, trying to sneak out while I'm asleep? Weren't you the one who pleaded to stay, Tatiana?
Whoa, wait. Are you a vampire? Tatiana, what's going on here?
This witch came to my castle and chose to stay with me of her own volition. I am Tatiana's master now. I have no intention of returning her to a helpless human like you.
What? That's insane.
The man's face becomes tinged with despair.
Well, I think that's enough. Now die.
No! I won't let you hurt him! I frantically resist and escape Harold's grasp, then stand firmly in front of him. I'll deal with this! Run!
Huh?
The man totteringly stands up, then runs away without a word.
How pathetic. If he was such a coward to run away with his tail between his legs, he never should have set foot in the forest in the first place. Did you flee the castle in order to meet with that man?
Why are you asking me that?
Answer me.
You seem awfully upset. Your usual composure is gone. The answer is no. I ran away from the castle in order to return to my village. Harold smiles mockingly, then lets go of my hand.
After all your bolstering, I didn't realize you'd try to leave after just a few days. It was all just talk after all.
My chest hurts at the sadness in his voice. Uh-oh. Looks like Harold's gotten more attached to me than I thought he would. Harold, I came here in search for the source of the plague that's going around my village. The villagers thought it came from vampires, so I went to find out if that was true or not. But after spending time with you and the other vampires, I realized it was false. So I wanted to go back to my village to explain that to everyone. I hadn't thought about what I would do after that. But since you seem to have taken a liking to me, maybe I could go back and stay at the castle again.
Suit yourself.
Harold furrows his brow in a frown, then turns and walks off. Ever since that day, little by little, Harold's attitude softens. I naturally end up spending more time with him, and I notice that a part of me starts to feel comfortable around him. Despite originally thinking about going back to my village, since I was able to get Humphrey's assistance, I instead remain at the castle and focus on creating a magic cure for the plague. Thanks to Humphrey, I've come up with a prototype. The magic medicine will soon be finished, and once it is, I will bring the medicine back to my village and tell everyone that Harold and the other vampires had no connection to the plague. Or at least, that was my plan. However, reality isn't so pleasant. Harold, is that true? Everyone really thinks that you and I are, lovers, and that we...
Betrayed your village? Yes. The man I hurt in the forest is telling everyone that you joined forces with a vampire, me, and spread the plague.
I guess I really should go back to the village once. I have a magic cure now, even if it's just a prototype. If I give them this and explain what happened, they might listen to me.
You'd go back even knowing the risks. And I can't understand that. There's a much easier way, don't you think?
What?
If you go back to the source, I'm the one at fault. It was my words and actions that created this situation. If you gave me over to the villagers, at least you would be spared. And yet, you don't.
Don't be silly. Obviously, I could never do that. I don't want to sacrifice you.
I feel exactly the same way. If I might lose you like this, I'd rather lock you up in the castle. Predator and prey. That's what our relationship used to be. It's almost laughable how things have turned out, if I do say so myself.
Harold.
And yet I fell in love. I came to love you.
If I choose Harold now, there's no going back. I know that. And yet... I fell in love with you too, even as a vampire. I can't lie about my feelings. When Harold's lips come down to meet mine, I close my eyes and accept the kiss. After discussing the situation with Harold, I decide to bring not a prototype, but the finished product of the magic cure for the plague to my village. Humphrey and Raymond have reportedly gone to subdue the demons that attacked the village. Once the cure is finished, the village will be saved. Then I can be with Harold from now on. I put my cheek to Harold's chest as he sleeps beside me and let out a slow breath. Everything's just about to turn out perfectly. So why do I feel so nervous?
You're up awfully early.
Sorry. Did I wake you?
Don't worry about it. Is there something bothering you?
No, I just woke up because I was cold. So, Harold, will you warm me up?
I guess I have no other choice.
Wanting to touch him for as long as possible, even the clothes on my body start to feel like an obstacle blocking his touch. When I untie the string on my clothes, Harold's grin deepens.
You want me to touch you that badly, huh?
Yes, I want you. Each and every second that I spend with Harold is precious. I wish this moment would never end. I make that wish inside my heart again and again. However, a few days later, I have a premonition. I see myself being burned by the people of my village and dying. That premonition becomes a reality. Just as the completion of the magic medicine is within sight, we get word of villagers coming to invade the castle. I see the approaching lights of torches for myself, and I feel filled with determination. Alfred and Rupert are here at the castle too. They're still so young. I can't let those villagers get inside. And so, I show myself to the villagers, ignoring Harold's desperate attempts to stop me. I give them the prototype of the medicine and attempt to explain myself. but the villagers react just as I'd imagined, and I'm captured and burned at the stake. As my consciousness fades, in my mind I picture two young boys, one sweet and blonde-haired, one troublemaker with blue hair. And the face of my dearest love. When I told Harold I was going to my village, the look on his face was almost laughably pitiful, as if he were close to bursting into tears. I realized painfully well just how strongly he cared about me. I pray that in exchange for my life, peace will come to the villagers' hearts. And I pray for happiness for Harold, who loved me, and for all of his family. Thinking that I